A lot of time and effort, a lot of passion in this sport. Dennis and Peggy Northey.
Thank you. The city of Sparta, believe me, from the bottom of our hearts, everything that you have done for us, and believe me, I know it's a lot. You have something very special here. I've been mentioning it all week. When we started the business 17 years ago, we needed some advertising for the brochure, so we started doing some research in the library. And we discovered something in this area that is just unique here, and it's called the driftless area. And it is the largest driftless area in the world. There is nothing else like it, where the 7 glaciers came down and came, down across the world. This is the largest. Now, I know that the trail, the Sparta Elray Trail, is the big thing because of the tunnels and everything else, but when you start riding out in the country and start going over the overlooks and everything else here, you realize what you have. Maybe you don't realize, but we realize what you have here is the scenery around here is absolutely breathtaking. And the other nice thing about it, you have the secondary road system that's, bar none, and there is no traffic. Now, if you're a bike rider, this is ideal country to go riding in. It isn't that it's just one little spot, it's almost over the whole area that this is, in the driftless area. So you have something real special here, and I can't tell you enough that take care of it, because there are people that really appreciate it. And then I have to thank Steve, because he's right. I came up to him and we were looking for a place to hold the human-powered vehicle race. Now, we had been up here with a bicycle tour already, and we were looking for a place that had a runway where we could do the 200-meter with a nice run up to it. We were looking for some oval tracks. We were looking for all kinds of things. So they said, yes, come on up. So last year, when the ride was up here, we were unable to be with it because we had one of our bicycle tours. So when we came back this year, I said to Steve, I know we can set a world record up there, and I know I have a gentleman that I can talk into coming up and setting the world record. How about it? And he says, Jay, isn't the tour just enough? Can't we just leave it at that? And I had to beg him and twist his arm so we could have this race. And see, I told you it was going to work out. And when I came up this winter, when we had started doing all this stuff, and they said, well, we're going to dredge the lake. And then I came up, and they had the dam shut off, and all the water not coming in. Then the dam broke, and they couldn't do the dredging the way it was. And I'm sitting here and saying, but we're going to have this world championship race. What do you mean you're not going to have a lake? So they had done some other type of dredging to finish the lake, and I guess you're going to still do a little more, right? So it's even going to be better next year. And I told him that, if we do this is going to have to be, especially when we set a world record here, that we're going to have to come back every year, because once you have it 1 year, you have to prove that this is the place to do this. So mark your calendars, because we're coming back next year with the human-powered vehicle races and the boat races. And the bicycle tour. We can bring the bike tour back that way. So, thank you. I owe some special thanks to a few people that, because I knew we were going to be up here for the week-long ride, and I told my wife, I says, well, honey, we're already going to be up there. We might as well put the race at the end of the tour, then we have all this stuff here, and we don't have to come back up again. And honest to God, it'll be a whole lot easier to do it this way. And it really was. It worked out real nice to be able to do this. So I need to thank some people that helped me out with the races, because you can't be in 10 places at the same time. And when I started having the boat racing, we were going after the world record, and we needed somebody that would sanction it, to qualify it as a world record. And Ron stepped forward and says, well, gee, I don't have anything to do that weekend, and I don't mind staying awake for 36 hours. I'd be glad to come up and help you out with the race. You want to stand up, Ron? Yeah, you want to come up here, Ron? Come on up here. And then he got the people in the Human Power Vehicle Association real excited by saying, you know, that GPS stuff is more accurate than it ever was before, and you know, it'd be real easy to do this. We won't even, we just turn on the machine and we won't even have to stay awake and watch them, right? Well, surprise, surprise. So, you want to do something?
Well, you know, one thing about Ron, when you're trying to track a world record, you got to stick out there almost as much as the people that are out there doing it. And I know it got a little cool last night. You and I talked about it. You said, you know, my thermometer said it was 50, but geez, it was a lot colder than that. So, just so you remember Sparta, Wisconsin, we're giving you this wind shirt. So when you're stuck next to a lake trying to figure out when John's ever going to quit, you've got a shirt that's going to keep you warm.
Now the other thing is, I owe you a trophy that I will be giving you, like one of the boat trophies, but I didn't have time to do it. I owe another person a trophy for doing the boat because we had a second people doing the 24-hour race in a different class, and they told me at the last minute, so I was, you know, before we were leaving, I was already finishing up on some of the other trophies, so I didn't have time to do theirs. So I will get it to you guys. And there is one more person, Leonard Roncalli. Stand up. And his wife Sam. I mean, it always goes in pairs. Believe me, without these two, all the other racing wouldn't take place because there just isn't enough time to be everywhere. So I owe them a lot. I will give you your trophy too, but I didn't have time to make yours. And then these three people that are standing up there that Steve thanked for doing a wonderful job. I got to know them real well because Steve thinks we have a personal phone line with each other. Those are the three that I have a personal phone line with. Yeah. Any problem that I had that came up that needed to be solved, they stepped in and says, well, we don't want to bother Steve because the bike tour almost did him in. So we will handle it. In case most of you people don't know, on Tuesday of last week, he visited the hospital for all day to find out why his blood pressure is higher than the temperature was by double. And he said it had nothing to do with me, but I know that isn't true. So I thank his staff even more than he does. Thank you.
You can stay here. Yeah, I was in the hospital with high blood pressure on Tuesday. I've had a nosebleed that probably the Red Cross would want to book me for on Tuesday. So, but it had nothing to do. I already gave the Bike Me Tour people the waiver that it was not them that put me in the hospital, and I'll follow it up by telling all of you racers you had nothing to do with it either. So. If you think that you're on my list, maybe you're the ones that did it to me, but not them. But I want the racers to all stand up that are racing here this weekend, because I know we got a bunch of them in here, and we didn't do the Hello My Name Is stickers tonight, so racers stand up. And for you that win your classes, that's what you'll receive. One thing before I introduce some real special people tonight, there was a gentleman that got in a canoe and decided that it was going to be arms versus legs when it came to this world record. And he gave it his best shot that he possibly could, and due to health reasons was not able to complete the task. But a great competitor, and I think even though he's not here, give him a round of applause, and that's Richard Hodgkins. He gave a great effort, and we appreciate him being here. And Richard's people said he's coming back next year, John, so. I've got two people, well actually three that we want to bring up here. As Dennis said when he called me up and says, how would you like to have a world record set in Sparta, Wisconsin? Contrary to what he said that I just wanted the bike tour, nah, I wanted the world record. Tour could have waited a year, but no, I'm just kidding for the two that are still here. We really wanted to have everybody and everything we could possibly do to put Sparta on the map. And anytime somebody tells me you can have a world record set in Sparta, Wisconsin, we're bringing them in, right, Mayor? Everything, that's right. So we were just very, very proud to have the caliber of talent that we were able to bring in to compete for the 24-hour marathon, you could probably call it, the 24-hour distance record. And the neat thing was, it started off with just one person, ended up being two, and by the time we got on the water yesterday at 9 a.m., we had three. And the third group actually could go home with a world record. I'd like to bring them up forward right now. Kevin and Karin Hughes from the Door County area, 56.1 miles in distance, despite having some boat problems. And we have a plaque that we'd like to give. I etched it out this afternoon after I knew how much they had gotten for a distance. The City of Sparta congratulates Kevin and Karin Hughes for setting the 2000 HPVA 24-hour human-powered tandem boat distance record in Sparta, Wisconsin, 56.1 miles, August 18, 19, 2000.
I'm really shy and I've never talked before, a group before, so just please bear with me. First, Dennis is right, you have a great area here. God gave you our home state of Wisconsin and a driftless area that is just absolutely unique and wonderful, and you guys have added to it, the mayor and Steve and the rest of you. The trail, the Elroy Sparta Trail, has been around for decades, and it's now bigger and better than ever, just growing, and I can see that it's going to be a future, something you guys really need to keep doing. Second, I got to do it this second because my wife, John's done 24-hour records. I've done 24-hour record attempts. This is just stuff crazy guys do. My wife did her first mountain bike race like 3 years ago, and I just had to scream at her the whole time to get her to finish. She did excellent. She's never done any ultra marathon thing before. I got her to ride a couple of centuries. She did a 24-hour world record yesterday. Well, that's a first.
As you can tell, Kevin's a very laid-back kind of guy. The neat thing about Kevin, last night they ran into a problem with their boat. For the people that don't know, they ran into a problem with their boat with a sprocket situation, or I don't know the whole technology of the whole thing. So while they're trying to figure out how to fix it or figuring out how to get back on the water, he jumps on a bike and he's over at the ice rink for an hour and a half. So, and then he gets done, he goes back over and let's go on a lake for a while again. So, I mean, what they've done has been extraordinary, and we are very proud to have you here, and congratulations again. You have the world record in the tandem distance, so congratulations to both of you, and let's give a round of applause again. The next person I want to introduce is, when Dennis told me that John Howard was going to come to Sparta, Wisconsin, first of all, he lives in California, and the first thing I could think of was, why in the heck would he want to come to Sparta, Wisconsin to break a record? There's got to be a link between California and Sparta. But after I had a chance to talk with him on the phone, all you have to do is just listen to him, and you can tell that there's enthusiasm, there's passion, and there's just a killer instinct in this gentleman that is just unbelievable. And the nicest guy you ever wanted to meet. And we talked a lot on the phone, tried to get things together. We worked with the Anheuser-Busch thing to get them as a corporate sponsor. And I mean, it was an honor to meet him in person after getting to know him on the phone over the past few months. And after going out yesterday morning at 9:15 and watching him take off, and then watching the termination at 9:15 this morning, how he ended, the guy is phenomenal. And I had a lot of people that told me that when I said I had John Howard coming to Sparta to break a world record, or set a world record, they go, well, you know, he's kind of like the Michael Jordan of cycling. And, you know, a lot of people get that kind of title on a lot of different occasions, but I'll tell you one thing, he is the Michael Jordan of cycling. And it's my pleasure right now to introduce a gentleman that set a world record today, 104.6 miles in a 24-hour time period. Ladies and gentlemen, world record holder, John Howard.
Of course, we want to thank the city of Sparta for inviting us. It was a wonderful venue. And of course, Dennis Northern for picking up the idea. Pete Peterson for doing a lot of legwork, especially with the media to get the press to cover this event. And probably from my perspective, most important, my brother Harry, who not only designed but also built the Budweiser Pedalos, which is the fastest single-seater in the world. It's also the most enduring, and it's rare to have a boat that is so efficient that you can actually use it for both speed as well as endurance. So, I really think that machine has got a strong future in this fledgling little sport of water cycling, which hopefully I will stand as a pioneer in helping this start, because I believe that even though it's been active for some time, it's never really had the impetus behind it, and we want this sport to arrive, and we want to be part of venues like this that put it in the spotlight, because there's an awful lot here. And another thing that comes to mind is with regard to arms versus legs. I think the legs won out. Richard is a great paddler, but I did lap him 4 times in 3 hours before he did drop out. So anyway, as far as I'm concerned, issue resolved. No matter what happens next year, whether I'm back or not. I also want to thank my sister-in-law, Vicki, who was part of a strong crew that kept me going. Otherwise, I wouldn't have made it. Believe me, the crew is everything. And my girlfriend, Chris, they were instrumental in getting me to the finish and keeping my nutrition balanced for the full 24 hours. So I'm just a conduit. I was here, I gave it my best effort, and this time it was enough. It's not always enough, but I really appreciate the opportunity to set a world record, and hopefully this is just the start of it. Thank you very much.
Even though it says Wisconsin Classic Champion, we know it's a world record champion, and we want to give him this bag because he probably needs it to haul some of the things we're going to give him home. Also, John, we want to give you a plaque that hopefully that you'll put on your wall back in California. When you look at it, it'll remind you of the times you had here in Sparta. The city of Sparta congratulates John Howard for setting the 2000 HPVA 24-hour human-powered boat distance record in Sparta, Wisconsin, 104.6 miles, August 18, 19, 2000. And we don't let a world record holder go without knowing that he's always going to be welcome back to the city of Sparta. On behalf of the mayor of Sparta and also the city aldermen and all of the community of Sparta, we would like to present John Howard with the key to the city of Sparta for his efforts in this 24-hour distance effort. You thought I was kidding about the bag, weren't you, John?
We'd also like to give him a trophy for the 24-hour record from the Wisconsin Classic.
Thank you very much, John. And get healthy. We didn't mean to wear you out so much, okay? By the way, can we have all the rest of the Howard crew that John mentioned to please stand up? Because you were doing a lot of work with John, and you deserve it. This world record is for you, too. Where's my staff? There's two of them. I need to get the box up. Everybody registered for the door prizes? Anybody not registered for the door